He's also a slam poet that writes about anything dear to his heart. It's safe to say that he is a heartfelt poet.
Hi, my name is Basicc. Let me tell you the truth. I witnessed abuse. It was my father that I wanted to shoot. He beat my mother, she would be so bruised. I saw sorrow, he was hollow when his screw was loose. His juice was booze. As a sober guy, this dude was cool. If I told you that he does abuse, I would need to prove that he's guilty, cause he was a good guy in the streets. He knew the word of the Lord. Give him a church and he'll preach. He fought for justice, safety, even peace. The three things we barely got. Ironic, can you see? See, I see a man broken, I see a man hurt. He thought the only way he can love is to hurt. When he passed away, I can't say I was hurt. I'm sorry, I just really wanted to hear the words. I'm sorry. Thank you to everyone that came through. Yeah, that was wild. That was wild.
That was very beautiful. It was very personal as well. Tell us more. Who is Basicc and what does Basicc mean in the world of poetry?
Basicc is, it's always hard for me to describe myself. I like asking people, so what do you see me as? And it's easier saying that. But I think I'm a contributor. More than anything, I think I'm a contributor because I love writing. But if I said Basicc is a writer, I'd be lying as well. So I'm a contributor. I contribute to the culture, the creative scene. Yeah, I'm a contributor. Basicc is a contributor.
I mean, how do you contribute to the poetic space? Last week you released some videos, really poetic videos with some good poetry, beautiful visuals. Tell us more about that.
I think I contribute by collaborating with other creatives. I see a creative and I'm like, hey, I love what you're doing. How can we, come together and do it, I've been telling Jess that she needs to perform her poetry and it's a mission, but we will get there. But yeah, I collaborate, so that's my contribution.
And how did you come about the name Basicc?
You know what, I had written like a verse, I was still rapping with anger beats, and I did my verse for this other guy. They used to call him, I can't remember his name, and that was my best verse. That's what I felt like, this is my best work. And he said it was Basicc. He said it was fine. It was Basicc. Oh my God, I was hacked.
No.
I was hacked. I wrote a diss song. But yeah, that's when I decided, let me go with the name Basicc. It's a dope name. It undersells me just to overperform. So let me go with that. Yeah.
And when did you realize your love for poetry?
I still don't love poetry. I love writing. So, I call my type of poetry simple poetry. Because I make it a point to use simple words and simple language. Because I don't like Shakespeare's poetry. I don't like Shakespeare's poetry.
Anti-Shakespeare.
Yeah. So I never really fell in love with poetry. I fell in love with words and getting my thoughts out there. So the simple jargon helps me get my message across, and which is the most important thing.
And I think that's what happened when you performed your poetry. And what do you mainly write about in your work?
I write about me and everyone around me. So, for instance, if you tell me a story and you say, I was bullied in school, whatever, and then you put it, and then you give me the story, what happened and whatnot, I am gonna go home and put it in a poem, as if I was the one that was bullied, right? So I use people's stories, I use my stories,
And I can lie as well. That's the other thing. That's the other thing. Poets can lie. Just give me a topic, I can kind of formulate something. Yeah.
It says in your bio that you write about what's dear to your heart. You're a heartfelt poet, right? So what's the most significant work you've written, and who was it directed to?
Definitely my woman. I have a couple of poems, love poems. Definitely my woman. I love that woman. I won't say her name, hate her, but
One boy.
yeah, definitely that's one of my heartfelt poems. The one I love is "I'm Guilty." Yeah, I'm guilty, and that's just me saying, hey, I'm guilty of loving this particular lady. So yeah, that's my most. Yeah.
What's your life's philosophy, and how does it relate to your artistry?
Unfortunately, I share my life's philosophy with someone. But it's community over competition. It's community over competition. If we collaborate, we create beauty. If we compete, we create chaos. Like we create confusion. We create, like for instance, on the 24th, we might be collaborating with some other curators that do shows around the city. If you choose to compete, you lose. If you choose to collaborate, you win. That's how I see it. So community over competition would be my philosophy. Yeah.
Would you agree with me in saying that like the industry is a very tricky place to navigate, right? So I want to ask you, what is the rudest awakening you've gotten as an artist in South Africa?
The rudest awakening. Maybe it wasn't rude, but it was a wake-up call. You're not that talented. Yeah, that was like, oh. Every artist, especially if you're good enough, because I feel like there's a level where, okay, you are good enough to be in front of a crowd. If you are good enough, you are convinced by people around you that you're talented and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Until you meet other people and you see the level they're doing things, you're like, oh, I'm good enough to do this. But really, like, am I talented? And I'm not talented. I work at it. I work hard. So definitely, that was one of the awakenings I got. I was like, oh, no, you're not talented. You just put in work, and that's the formula.
If you had to describe yourself in one word, which word would it be and why?
I would describe AHADI.
Why AHADI?
AHADI means promise, and I am making a promise to myself and people around me that I will try and strive for the best every single time. So it doesn't matter what we're doing. Look, if we're selling drugs, I'm gonna be the best at that, okay? So it's a promise that I made to myself, and a promise that I made to my mother a while ago, and a promise that I'm making to the community. Yeah.
Jesus knows if you double cross me, I love you still. I had a cousin, I loved him, he used to take pills. Numb the pain, the name of the game, and it got real. You're human, I'm assuming you know how it feels. He was charismatic, but drugs was an overkill. You should have heard him on the mic, he had mad skill. Track kill. He could have been one of the best if he just signed a bad deal. Now that's real. He suffered from depression, he couldn't take it anymore. Every time I saw him breaking a little more. He tried smiling every day, but couldn't fake it anymore. He said, I love you, but this life, I swear I'm hating it, my bro. He told me, your words will never get through me, get a sword. That's what I saw. My cousin with a gun in his hand. I said, man, you have goals. This is not part of the plan. Take a stand, be a man, they need you, I mean the fam. He said, shut the fuck up. You don't know what I'm going through. I found out my father's not my father, what do I do? I found out my mom is cancer, she's gonna die soon. My girl has been cheating on me since high school. So don't tell me be a man, take a stand when you don't understand that this life is a scam. So with this gun in my hand, I don't want you to feel bad. Just be glad you got a plan, because a man without a plan becomes a burden. And I want to stop hurting. Patience.